What's going on YouTube? Back at it with another video. We got us some true crime type shit, you know what I mean? Video, the Lake Neon incident. I think Lake Nyos incident, not Neon. I think that's how you say it, Neo, like the singer. You know. What the fuck? I just realized like the world didn't ever need Neo. Like, if we didn't ever have Neo as a singer, bro, we would still keep pushing and thriving. Like, he didn't help the game or make the game worse in any way. Like, he didn't make it better or worse. Like, we didn't really even need Neo. Like, where did he come from? He just came out of nowhere and disappeared. Fuck. Yeah, but that doesn't have nothing to do with this video. Before we get into it, though, so we can find out what it's about, need y'all to like, comment, subscribe. Turn them post notifications on. Sit back, relax. Fire one of them good ones. Like I said in the last video, you should have rolled it up already. This is the one you fire it up to. Let's do it on grannies.
By Dashlane.
Got a bug? It's a pregnant bug.
Visibilities 1/4 mile or less time. Timing to this morning. Impacts limited visibility. Keep driving. Slow down. Use your headlights and leave plenty of distance ahead of you.
August 15th, 1984. Night falls on Lake Nyos, a serene, quiet body of water in Cameroon, Africa. Along its shores lies a sleepy road where that night a truck crammed with 12 passengers would follow its twists and turns. As the vehicle passed through a dark wooded area, a dense fog began to emerge from the lake, rolling along the ground and covering the surrounding area like a blanket. It engulfed the road in an instant, but as far as the driver was concerned, a foggy night by the water was nothing too out of the ordinary as he continued en route to their final destination. A destination that would never be reached. Moments following the emergence of this heavy fog, the engine within the vehicle began to sputter, before shutting down completely and slowing the crippled vehicle to a stop. The driver twisted the ignition over and over again, but nothing.
Scary
The
movie
engine
stuff
was
right
completely
there.
unresponsive. Sitting on the roof of the parked truck were 2 of the 12 passengers, who watched as one by one, those inside of the vehicle crawled out to investigate the breakdown. They watched as the group of 10 walked towards the truck's hood, and they watched as one by one, they began to collapse, falling to the ground without a single word. In just a moment's time, the entire group of 10 had perished.
What?
As the passengers on the roof looked on in horror, they began to witness the cattle and other livestock shriek in agony before falling to the ground as well. Even the bugs dropped from the sky, as on a night where you would typically hear the sound of a million insects.
That nigga legs don't work.
The sky, as on a night where you would
Look, that nigga, you fat ass. Just sitting on stomach, legs all cocked up in the air. He licking elbows and shit. Get up and hop. Just sitting there in the middle of the road.
typically hear the sound of a million insects. It instead grew deathly silent. That day, 37 people in total would lose their lives, with hundreds of livestock suffering the same mysterious fate.
What?
It was a disaster that happened in an instant, but to most of the outside world, it didn't happen at all.
I was finna say, what, this how Ebola came out? But then they said 84, Ebola came out like, what was it, like 2012 or some shit like that? I don't remember. Somewhere around 2015, somewhere around that time Ebola came out. Ebola!
Left baffled, Cameroon authorities had no explanation to this sudden loss of life, leading to the event almost immediately being covered up and blacked out from the rest of the world. And honestly, it may have remained that way forever, had it not been for another event that transpired in an identical manner, with this incident proving to be one of the most shocking in human history. Before we dive into this story, I want to briefly thank today's sponsor, Dashlane. As someone who uses the internet for practically everything, I'm always looking for new ways to streamline my workflow. And given the work I do, I've also been trying to further protect my private information while working online. And Dashlane does both. It's a service that stores all of my passwords, payments, as well as my personal information in a secure place only accessible to me. And when it comes time to use this information, I can access it from all of my devices and log in everywhere with just a single click. Dashlane is consistently ranked as a top password manager, in large part due to its patented security technology. They're making your pricing. You can try Dashlane for free on your first device by heading over to Dashlane.com/% off.
Get shit out of here. Get back to the good shit.
Scientists were at a loss following the disaster at Lake Nyos, as first-hand reports were few and far between, given that hardly anyone in the area had survived. From what they could gather, residents reported hearing a loud noise at some point during the night. The noise had come from the direction of the lake and sounded almost like an explosion, which seemed consistent with the appearance of the vegetation surrounding the water, as trees, grass, and bushes were left completely flattened, almost as if it had been crushed by the force of an explosion. Following the strange noises, fog began to quickly cover the entire area, which was of particular interest.
See, this is the first sign of COVID. That's what it is. This is the first signs of COVID. It's COVID 2. COVID 1 happened back in World War II, but we didn't notice because everybody was dying and was sick. We ain't noticed.
As survivors reported that it appeared different than your typical mist. It had a heavy stench and even slightly burned the skin of those who stood in its way. And as soon as the fog rolled in, both humans and animals alike began collapsing and eventually passing away, with the official cause of death for all of the victims being asphyxiation. The fog also seemed to move in an unnatural way as it rolled along the ground, never straying more than a few feet above the surface, meaning that when the two passengers were seated on top of the truck, they never actually came into physical contact with the mist because it never rose that high. And given that they had survived unscathed, well, it seemed apparent that the mist itself was likely what had caused the deaths. But determining how or why a mist could have killed everything in the surrounding area,
right, everything?
Well, that was another question entirely. Looking at all the evidence, it was initially theorized that this event was spurred on by volcanic activity, as there was an active volcano field beneath the lake itself, which upon eruption may have released a cloud of toxic fumes into the air.
But no, it's a little bit deeper than that, because it's deeper than just a volcano. Motherfucker, the smoke got niggas dropping dead within 3 minutes. Everybody dying, down to the plants. It's deeper than a volcano. It's deeper than a volcano, man. We died,
though upon further testing, it was determined that the volcano was inactive at the time, and no evidence of an eruption was present. This left researchers at a complete loss. If this was not some kind of natural occurrence, then it seemed highly likely that it was instead man-made, and potentially a case of terrorism. As given the sound of an explosion and toxins in the air, it was possible that a chemical weapon was used on the region. But this theory was a hard sell too, as the region was so remote and obscure that one
for 10 cents you can get you a little black boy. Ain't that crazy that they try to sell that shit to us, nigga? Nigga, I was 12 years, not even 12, I was like 8 years old at the house, like, I got $1. I can get like 10 of them. On me. I'm talking about, I'm straight, I see the show. In the arms of an angel. I went to lifting up couch sheets and shit, couch cushions. Found a dime. Yes, I go get one. Mom, can we go get a child and help it and feed it? Yeah, boy. America had us think that damn TV had us thinking, nigga, these motherfuckers didn't have water, nothing. They had us thinking they just out there don't want to be there, struggling. Nigga, they want to be there, nigga. This is their life. They enjoy walking around like this. Them motherfuckers got water, lights, houses and shit up there in Africa. They ain't poor. We go there to get our resources. How they poor? Y'all know, like, the way people, how we make all our, like, electricities and shit is from the sand over there in Africa. The sand, the dirt. And they poor. Come on, man. That's where we get all our gold and diamonds from, is over in Africa. But they poor. It's just like, it's different though. Like, we get gold and we be like, oh, look at this, a ring. This shit is just a rock to them, a regular shiny rock, cause it's like, that's they natural shit over there. So they get gold and they use it for, like, whatever they use it for, like healing. They might wear some, you know, some shit, but they do it connect with the sun and extra shit. We do it cause, nigga, we wanted a ring to say we was player. That's it. That's it, bro. And we turned it into some money. Like, oh my God, bro. America, we so dumb, but we not dumb. We just know, we just so controlling. Damn.
Would wonder why anyone would target it, let alone target it with chemical weapons. Given this, scientists couldn't settle on a definite conclusion, and with the team at a crossroads, authorities would conclude their investigation and instead focus their efforts on keeping the incident under wraps, erasing it from history in the hopes that nothing like it would ever happen again. But unfortunately, almost exactly 2 years later, the fog would emerge once more. It happened about 100 kilometers away from Manaus, on a body of water called Lake Nyos. Night had fallen on the evening of August 21st, 1986, when a loud noise was heard coming from the water. Quickly, the lake began to bubble, almost as if it had turned to a boil. Those bubbles then began to pop, leading to a thick mist emerging from the lake, and almost instantly covering the area in a dense fog. Dramatic as the event seemed, virtually no one was aware of what was happening, as the vast majority of nearby villagers were fast asleep, completely unaware of the danger that they were in. By the edge of the lake, a lady named Halima Sully was living with 4 of her daughters, and following the sound of the loud rumble, Halima would be awakened in a state of confusion. The sound was startling, but it would prove to be far from the most frightening thing that she would hear that night, as immediately after being jarred from her sleep, she began to hear a collage of voices echoing from the village around her. It took a moment to decipher what exactly it was, until eventually it hit her. Those sounds were the wailing and the moaning of people emanating from all directions. It was the sound of suffering.
Yeah.
As she stood in horror, she would suddenly go completely limp, falling to the floor of her home before passing out.
That's them demons.
Meanwhile,
all the ghosts
in a house
from
high atop a
ancestors coming
cliff
back to kill or
overlooking the
something?
region, a man named Ephraim Chi, in a house high atop
Shit look like Wakanda, like they planted this theyself. Like this a garden or something.
cliff overlooking the region, a man named Ephraim Chi
Don't that look like Wakanda? Like when they flew into the mountain, then they went into Wakanda, like, and the whole nother world opened up. This shit is real.
would watch the mist roll in and absorb the houses beneath him. In the village below was essentially his entire family, although we didn't think much of the smoke-like mist, as much like Lake Manaus, fog by the water was fairly typical. That night, Chi was feeling particularly ill, and after watching the mist for a while, he decided to go get some sleep. When he awoke the next morning, he was completely unaware that his life had just been changed forever. As Chi started his day by heading down towards the lake, he noticed a peculiar silence in the air. Everything around him was perfectly calm, perfectly still, until he heard a voice. The voice of Halima Sully. Chi could hear her shouting in the distance, "Come here. Why are these people lying here? Why won't they move again?"
'Cause they dead.
He couldn't bear the sight. It was far too horrific, as on the ground in front of Halima lay all 4 of her children, none of whom were alive. And they
What?
weren't the only ones, as all around them, bodies littered the ground of the village. As Halima searched the area for survivors, she would discover 31 other members of her family, dead within their nearby homes. In
Wow.
the fields around them also laid the family's cattle, of which they had worked years to obtain. Yet, in a matter of one night, all 400
They
of
all
them had
dead,
passed as
bruh.
well. That night, Halima had quite literally lost everything, and all that
Imagine that, bro. Imagine getting up and everything gone. Like, cows is gone, bro. Your whole family dead. Except for a couple people, like random people that's not related to you. They just in your village. You would think the world dead. Like, they don't got cell phones, nothing. So you probably think the world is ending. Everybody dead. But we over here eating popsicles with switches on our Glocks and shit. You know, like, damn, bro, you never know what's going on in this world, bro. We over here at a Michael Jackson concert. They over there in Africa dying from COVID 2.0. Killing the whole village, cattle, and everything. That shit wicked. But we waiting for the next Billy Ocean seed tape to come out and shit. Like, what? Holy smoky dokey yoki. Life is crazy, bro. Crazy. Like, I be thinking about weird shit. Like, right now I'm making this video. Right now, while I'm making this video, y'all doing whatever y'all doing in life. Y'all not even doing what I'm doing right now at this moment. Y'all gonna watch this a whole nother time. When y'all watch this, I'm gonna be doing something else. And while I'm making this and while y'all watching this, somebody getting kidnapped right now, bro. Somebody is somebody got duct tape on their mouth right now. Where their money at? Right now, bro. There's some crazy shit going on right now. Somebody is dying right now at this moment. Somebody's being born right now in this moment. Somebody having sex right now. It's somebody sucking dick right now. That shit blows my mind, bro. Because we all living in just this one world in our brain. But it's really like a million different worlds going on right now. Everybody in their own era, but we just can think from our point of view. That shit's crazy to me, bro.
remained of her family was her, and she wasn't the only one. One man living in the nearby village of Sabum had also heard the loud rumble that
Villages look
night.
fun,
His
kinda.
name was Joseph Niquain, and after he too was awakened by the blast, he emerged from his bed to check on his daughter. Within his home was a cloud of mist, and through strained eyes he
Just like
headed
that one
towards her
movie, The
room,
Mist.
though he didn't make it far. He described his account by saying, "I could not speak. I became unconscious. I could not open my mouth because then I smelled something terrible. I heard my daughter snoring in a terrible way,
mouth?
very abnormal."
Oh, wait, what? I could not open my mouth because then I smelled something terrible. Your breath was that goddamn bad? Because you don't smell with your mouth. I mean, sometimes you can taste something so strong you smell it. Like, fuck, I smell bad in here because it's so strong, but I don't think that was going. He never said nothing about closing his nose.
Crossing to my daughter's bed, I collapsed and fell. I was there till 9 o'clock in the morning. I was surprised to see that my trousers were red and had stains like honey. I opened the door.
Honey?
I wanted to speak. My breath would not come out. My daughter was already dead.
What?
Facing the reality of his deceased daughter, Joseph would try and compose himself as he left his home in search of help, though outside was an even grislier sight. In virtually all the homes that surrounded him were the deceased bodies of his neighbors, some of whom were sprawled across the ground of the village.
Like, give me type shit, like, all that shit happened, like, what do? You don't just, I'm finna go to, I guess I'm gonna go out to Dallas to live with my grandma, you know, or I'm finna go to Cali to live with my, like, no, like, this is a village. There's no connection with, we don't got cell phones and all this extra. It's like, Granny and all them lived here. You know, we was that, like, you in a village, like, your whole family is close. You don't know about your cousins that live in North Africa. I don't even know if we got cousins up there. It's like, I just gotta stay in this village where everybody died. Like, no, you gonna be hearing they ghosts and all this crazy shit. All the ghosts from the animals, bro. I'll just move and start my own village. I'll find the little people that was there, that they lost their people, and we finna travel and leave and go make our own village. But the thing is, you can't travel too far because you might run into another village that's other people's territory, and you get your shit knocked off. Like, you gotta repopulate everything, make new kids, make new everything, and then the new kids you make, you got to make sure you in a certain village where the girl you having sex with over here is not related to the girl and the guy over here, because once you have kids with them, it's like, who do your kids mess with? Because they related to everybody out here, you know? It's like, damn. That's crazy.
While others he could see through the windows of their homes, looking as if they had passed away in their sleep. On their skin, and Joseph's as well, were wounds comparable to chemical burns. Surrounding Joseph was nothing but death, as overnight practically the entire village had been wiped out,
Just dead.
except for him. And worst of all, he had no idea how or why. In fact, nobody did. But perhaps Joseph's strangest encounter came from the lake itself. As he looked out to the water, he would notice that the lake's signature shade of brown was no more. And instead, that morning, the water ran red.
Red.
For medical personnel, the
Some
sight
evil
was
shit.
shocking. In the villages that the mist reached, survivors like
Them
Joseph
motherfuckers in the hospital with their shoes off. Nigga, imagine your doctor come in, he come in barefooted. Nigga, I'm gonna be like, hold on, sir, get that. Sir, what is I got cancer, don't I? Just let me know now, because you too comfortable. What I got? I'm gonna be here a long time. I ain't gonna know what to think. Nigga, my doctor come in there and move some motherfucking his toes out. Nigga, what the hell going on here? Nigga, you got your feet out? What the hell? I've never seen a doctor's feet, even at the beach. Nigga, let alone here at work.
Now, the sight was shocking. In the villages that the mist reached, survivors like Joseph,
Pilot.
Chi, and Halima were few and far between, with those who did remain being left incredibly ill with sores across their bodies. Some had even become paralyzed, losing their ability to move for days and weeks. At Manaon, the medical professionals had found 37 individuals deceased along the water, which accounted for about half of the lake's inhabitants. But things at Nyos were instantly much different, as the population was far more dense, and rather than medics finding a few dozen bodies the next day, they instead found hundreds.
White men?
When it was all said and done, as many as 1,800 people lost their
What they
lives
doing
that
there?
night, with an exact number being unknown, as there were simply too many bodies to count, as they moved to quickly bury the dead in a mass grave. Along with this, over 3,000 domesticated animals and livestock were killed as well, with the cause of death for both humans and animals being asphyxiation, and no immediate explanation as to why.
Crazy, bro.
In the days following the sudden, unexplained disaster, surviving villagers began speculating that what had happened was some type of punishment passed down from an unruly spirit, referring to the fog as some type of supernatural killer mist. But opinions across the region varied, with some calling into question whether the government had been doing some type of experimentation in the area, potentially testing weapons or
Had to be.
chemicals before something went very wrong. With this theory in particular remaining a big talking point for a while.
They testing
as the
bombs though. They did say they were hearing like big ass bangs and shit, but I don't think they was testing bombs out there for. They had some shit going on that people didn't know about, type shit, like not no bomb, like some evil, some crazy shit, something they can throw out there. Boom, and motherfuckers just start dropping dead, and it went wrong, and they just like, well, we gotta get rid of this shit, and they poured it all in that lake, and now the lake got some weird mixture, chemical shit mixed up, and every now and then it boils up, overheats, boil, and toxins come out and kill every fucking body.
The two lakes affected were so close, so obscure, and both located in Cameroon. It might also explain why authorities had moved to cover up the Lake Manaon incident. But as for the authorities
Lake Manaon.
themselves, they were concerned that this was yet another act of terrorism, as it was almost as if a bomb had been dropped over top of the lake. After all, the sound of an explosion was undisputed, causing many to believe that the region was under attack. Which,
Like,
in a
was the
way,
village
was
like a
somewhat
very
true.
important village
Only
or
this
something?
attack wasn't from some outside force, and instead, it was from nature itself.
Yeah.
As scientists studied the two lakes at the center of these disasters, they would quickly note that both bodies of water were located on top of the same volcanic field. This volcanic field had been producing a large amount of magma, which in turn created carbon dioxide, or CO2, at an alarming rate. This was noteworthy as a huge amount of CO2 had been detected in the water of both lakes following these disasters, which led to the realization that over many years, that CO2 had been building up at the very bottom of these deep, deep lakes. And
Just
given the
way in there,
region's
right.
consistent temperatures, that CO2 had essentially stayed put, growing and growing each day without any sort of release from the depths of these waters. Well, that would be until the nights of August 15th, 1984, and August 21st, 1986, when the Earth had shifted, leading to the sudden exodus of centuries worth of gas buildup. It's unknown for sure what had caused both disturbances, with some
Damn, I wonder, so that being said, I wonder what's going on right now that's locked up in these waters that we got. Because, like, what if that's like, remember with the ocean, we were caught on fire and they was out there trying to put the fire out underwater in the sea and shit. Like, what if in our lakes and our towns there's some shit getting built up on the water, but the pressure of the water is keeping it down there and shit. The earth shift on some shit. Because I'm telling you right now, when the earth shift, we gonna know for real. Because California, nigga, y'all niggas gonna drown, man. Y'all, cause y'all damn near underwater already. I just don't know it. But what if that happened though? And some shit starts shifting and boom, bam, bam. Then the whole fucking Michigan, all y'all niggas, you know, Lake Michigan, all them niggas up there. What if y'all niggas just start dropping? Huh? Canada, everybody just start passing the fuck out. Like, nigga, they too nice for that. This shit can get wicked out here, y'all, for real. I don't know what we can do, but we need to do something.
Theorizing that it could have been something as minor as a small rock slide nearby, or even a cold bout of rain. But whatever its cause, ultimately that carbon dioxide would be released and shoot up out of the water in an instant, soaring over 300 feet in the air. The blast was so severe that it even created a tsunami within the lake, with scientists estimating the wave to be over 60 feet tall, before crashing into the shore, flattening all vegetation in the immediate area, and dying out before it reached any villages. Though it wouldn't be the wave that proved to be so deadly, as instead it was the mist it brought up with it, as that fog was made up of almost entirely carbon dioxide, as well as other chemicals brought up from the bottom of the lake. CO2 is unbreathable and far denser than regular air, so as it emerged from both lakes, it stayed very low to the ground and essentially replaced all the oxygen in the area with an...
We see some shit like that in America now. All the young niggas gonna be like, nigga, we need to put that shit in a bottle. Let me hit that shit. They go, what? They hear that CO2, they gonna think, what? It's nothing but free whip it outside. Niggas gonna run out there with their mouth wide open and breathe in deep. This shit good. Straight dead. Dumbass. Thought you was gonna get high, didn't realize you didn't do nothing but get die. Your ass got dead. D-E-A-D. Dead.
an unbreathable gas, and the more those villagers tried to breathe it in, the faster it made them suffocate. This is why the truck's engine had stopped at the very beginning, as there was no oxygen to circulate within the engine, rendering combustion within it impossible. And this also explains how the majority of survivors lived in higher elevations, just high enough to avoid the low-lying gas. This theory also accounted for the wounds found on the bodies, as they were likely caused by CO2 poisoning. And the lake's red color the following day, well, that change was a direct result of the high level of CO2 in the water. The event sounds so supernatural, so unbelievable, but this theory explained everything and would eventually be universally agreed upon as the cause for both disasters. And ultimately, it would lead to the founding of a new type of natural disaster, which would come to be known as a limnic eruption. With this discovery, scientists have now been able to install pipes in the water that allow these lakes to release their CO2 without any large explosions, making Manaus and Nyos seemingly safe from another limnic eruption, at least for now. And fortunately, eruptions like this require a confluence of incredibly precise geological conditions, with scientists only confirming 3 lakes across the entire world that are capable of experiencing such a disaster. Which
Fuck
means
that,
that not
nigga.
only
We only found 3 in the world. Fuck that. Put it in all of them. Because we don't need to find out anymore. We just don't need to find out. So just put this shit in all of them and we ain't got to worry about nothing. We be just straight. You know what I'm saying? If you got one personally built at your house, like you got a homemade lake at your house, hey, that's up to you if you want to get one built. If you want to kill your whole family, kill your whole family. Do your thing. But if this shit is like a man, not no man-made, this shit was here already on land, drop a pole in that motherfucker so we can survive. Drop something in that motherfucker so we can survive. Don't kill no fish or nothing. But we need to be straight, y'all. For real. For real, Sean. For real, Sean.
are Lake Manaun and Lake Nyos now safe from these eruptions, but the world as a whole is as well. Well, not exactly.
What you mean, well?
The problem arises with that 3rd lake, Lake Kivu, a location where, unlike Nyos and Manaun, there is yet to be any real progress in degassing it. They've added pipes like the others, but they haven't been nearly as effective, for one simple reason: size. Lake Manaun and Lake Nyos are small lakes, with Lake Nyos being only about a mile long each way, but Lake Kivu is much, much bigger. And to be exact, in comparison to Lake Nyos, Kivu is 2,000 times larger and has roughly 2 million inhabitants living on or around its shores, all of whom could find themselves in the midst of a toxic fog should one of these eruptions occur. And as of now, it seems like only a matter of time. Scientists have discovered that limnic eruptions have been happening at Lake Kivu for a long time.
Is that
And they seem to
lightning?
happen roughly once
does
every
lightning
1,000
come
Lake
into a-
Kivu for a long time. And that limnic eruptions have been happening at Lake Kivu
Like, what
for
the
a
hell?
long
Where did lightning
time,
come from?
And they seem
This
to
shit wasn't
happen
even out the
roughly
sky.
once every 1,000 years, meaning that it could happen at any moment, especially considering that the last confirmed large-scale eruption seems to have been roughly 5,000 years ago, meaning that the people living around Lake
5,000?
Kivu may be living on borrowed time, with
Man.
experts predicting that the event could be even worse than you'd expect, because deep within the lake lies a high level of methane, which, given its flammability, wouldn't just lead to a toxic fog covering the area, but it would lead to fire covering it as well, giving it the possibility of setting miles and miles of land on fire in an instant. The risk is so serious that some have fled the area over fears of an eruption, while others go about their daily lives with no clue of the danger that surrounds them, as all it would take.
Bro, we really be out here surviving, bro. Like, if you watching this video right now, give yourself a round of applause, pat on the back, bro, and go thank your parents or whoever took care of you, because, bro, we really be out here surviving. Bro, the nature be trying to get us, nigga. We can get sick and die. They got, that motherfucker said it can make land fires in an instant for miles. Like, instant fire is crazy. Just chilling out of nowhere, nigga. You chilling, picnic out of nowhere, nigga. Everything around you on fire. It's possible. We got lakes that'll boil. What? Like, and burn your skin off type boil. Like, this motherfucker start boiling and release gas that'll kill you instantly and your whole family. Earthquakes, bro. The ground will split open and your whole house will fall on the inside of it, bro. Ask if you know anybody live in Houston or know anywhere. Nigga, hurricanes is taking their mansions away. What? Y'all see that picture a while back when the hurricane hit? And the whole Houston flooded and it hit the damn hospital and it was nothing but bloody water everywhere. AIDS? I think, yeah. What? We really out here fighting, bro. And we surviving, bro. Nigga, you can catch a cold and die nowadays, fam. Catch a cold. Nigga, like this is 1910 when they didn't have no type of cure, medicine or nothing. You catch a cold in 1910, bro. Nigga, you fuck around, die for real. You and your whole family die from a cold. No, not the flu, a cold. Nigga, we can still catch the flu. Nigga, they still got rare cases of chicken pox. Come on, bro. Like, damn. Niggas out here eating, we eating fucking man-made green beans and shit. Man-made peas. What the hell is them little vegetables that be in the cup noodles? Them ain't real peas. That shit Play-Doh, nigga. The hell? We out here surviving for real. Donald Trump just got shot in the ear. What that had to do with anything?
Take is one earthquake, or an eruption of a nearby volcano, or even something as minor as a cold bout of rain, to trigger what could easily become the most devastating natural disaster
Dude, bro, that can
of
happen
all
in your
time.
backyard, fam.
And with this possibility lurking at any moment, all we can really do at this point is wait. I want to give a massive thank you to the commenter who suggested this video, as well as my gold tier and god tier patrons, Allie Farmer, Barry Winstanley, Bazoo42, Biznacker.
No, we not finna go listen to all that. No, we not, man. Yeah, man. Y'all be safe out here, though. Like, seriously, because everything, all these people died, bro, and then we ain't talked about one gun or knife. We ain't talked about a weapon. So that mean, bro, it don't matter about you having weapons, you having ops, no nothing. Your ops won't even kill you nowadays, bro. But that little punk ass spider that's sitting in the corner of your room that you don't see and you laying down, that bitch get on your bed and bite your dumb ass later on the night, murk your ass. Like, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got, boy, be cautious. Be real cautious. Yellow light, yellow light. Yeah. Yeah, nigga. You went and opened up a can of Vienna sausages, now your fucking dick don't work no more. I'm telling you, nigga, it's all types of shit out here that'll get you. You hear me? Y'all be safe, bro, for real, nigga. Keep that motherfucker working, too. I'm out this thing, man. That's the end of this video, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and get ready for the next one, man. I'm gone, man. Peace. I love y'all.